So to give you an example, say they hold this conference, which, as I say, they're going to hold, and they say, right, we're going to have to address the anger. And we're going to have to do something to address the anger because we're clearly losing votes to reform. So somebody puts up their hand and goes, well, I know that people are voting for reform because the people who vote for reform are saying that a man can't become a woman. So maybe we should change our position that they can. And what's John Swinney and all his mates going to say? They're going to go, oh, of course we're not changing that. Any man can become a woman. How dare you suggest he can't? So they'll be like, well, okay, then we can't do anything about that particular value. That's obviously different people have different values on that one. So who else has got a suggestion about what we could do to stop the anger? And somebody will put up their hand and say, well, people are voting for reform because they're not going along with all this climate change thing. And they're saying that Scotland's got lots of deposits of oil and gas that we should be exploiting. And maybe we should be looking into all of that instead of all this very expensive, very often inefficient green energy. You know, people are voting for reform because reform say that they're going to, you know, drill for oil and gas again. What's John Swinney and his mates going to go? They're going to go, of course not. Of course not. Climate change is real. It's absolutely real. How dare you suggest it's not? Again, a different value that's never going to meet with the people who disagree with them. And so then maybe somebody else will put up their hand and go, well, people are voting for reform because they're not angry, but they're very concerned at all the mass immigration to Scotland. After all, in 2023, a population bigger than Paisley, Scotland's 5th largest town, came in as long-term immigrants in 1 year. People are getting a bit fed up with that. Maybe we should go forward as the SNP and say that we should control immigration, get it right down to very low numbers. And people are also concerned about the number of bogus asylum seekers coming across the channel. And what's John Swinney and his lot going to say? They're going to go, how dare you? That's an extreme right-wing fascist thing to say. Goodness me. This is Scotland. We don't have that value. Our value in Scotland is open the borders to everybody. And at the end of the day, they're going to come out of that conference and they're going to go, well, there's nothing we can actually do to ameliorate the reform vote because we don't agree with reform on anything.